Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike. I hope you all had a great weekend. Mine went pretty well. Actually, I'm in the back half of mine. It started Sunday and ends tonight, and we go back to work tomorrow. As many of you are aware, know schedules like that. But anyway, hey, welcome in. There is no fun saying, like I always like to say for Monday, other than I'm trying to recover. Please keep the noise down. But no, we'll try to keep things pretty decent as we set up here in Cleveland, Ohio, known as the Dog Pound, Brownie Land. What else have I heard it called over the years when I lived in Ohio? But anyway, welcome to Cleveland. Not much to say, other than I will give Cleveland one big kudo. Started driving a truck in 92, and by about 90, and they were already underway in the project that I'm about to say, because before I don't even remember this in high school, but they said it happened during my time in high school. The river burned because of all the oil and gas in it there. Can't tell you the truth or not to that, because like I said, I never knew it. Then again, I lived in Dayton, Ohio, pretty much the other end of the state. Only further south you could go is Cincinnati. So I'm not certain of that. But anyway, I do know the pollution was horrendous up there with the fact it was part of the Rust Belt here, the iron that was built to make cars. A lot of those factories, the coal mines, all of that, all in that area. 92, I saw it. It was, I mean, just outright, ugh. But by about 96, 97, when I started going up there again more regularly, yeah, that's about right time frame. Uh, it was pretty well cleaned up. It was the air quality was a lot better. Still can't verify that the river ever burned there. I hear the story, but I can't ever verify it. I'm sure someone's going to shoot me an email or a text or a DM showing the picture of it. Um, but they did a good job cleaning the city up, air quality, pollution wise. Got ways. They still probably have a ways like many major cities on other fronts. But anyway, that's where we are, and we're nowhere. Well, we're kind of near the city. I don't think we can see any of the city from here. Let's kind of look around. Nope, didn't think so. I actually don't remember offhand where Cleveland was in relation to the city, although maybe in that direction. The only thing I ever remember airport wise in Cleveland was Lakefront, which was actually kind of like Meg's, really close to the city for the corporate folks to get in and out. And the, hotshot basketball, baseball, football, and all of that to get in and out too. So, but anyway, that's where we are. We're flying for FedEx, so I bet you can't guess where we're flying to without looking at the title. Yeah, we're going to Memphis. But anyway, good news. We have the aircraft already loaded, ready for flight. We're just waiting for you. I don't know what took you all so long to get here. So we're going to push this thing back here, do a couple, let you know what you need to do to be able to load this plane. To some, that's too much. To others, they could do a lot more. I kind of lean on the other. They could do a lot more. But what Flight Factor has done here is pretty good. And one other thing about Flight Factor with this 767, by the way, they have been updating it again. I know some of you are going, hallelujah, it's about time. Yeah, I get you. I get you wholeheartedly. Not certain I get you the way you all think, but I do think it needed some updates. Because Azul, welcome in. Hope you're having a good. By the way, Azul, we are getting ready to push back. I know how you're used to waiting all day long and then you push back. But hey, love your streams, man. They are great. So Azul is in the house. Hang on, let me give him a proper shout out. Yeah, if you're into racing, if you're into flying, you never know what Azul will be doing. So, again, welcome aboard. All right, so here's what I'm going to call them, what you need to have visible. Catching strays. Oh, nice. What you need to be able to load and conversely unload. Now, obviously, the unload, you will not need the fuel truck, but we'll go through it anyway. So, you have to have, and some people find this, they don't like it, and hey, to each their own. We're, welcome to America. You're allowed to your opinions. You got to have your loaders, your baggage loaders for the lower deck, which, by the way, most likely in a 767, they would be pretty much like your loader over here. But hey, we did it at the airport. Those were the loaders used. But for cargo, most likely they would be using other types. That's okay. It was set up for both passenger and freight, so that's why. And you get that little baggage carts behind you that comes with them. Okay, then you're going to need the air stair for the freighter. And of course, the loader for the to load the cargo in and out. No animation, sorry folks, that's as much as you get. And you also have to have the fuel truck. Now, you see the ground power unit, yes. And you see the air conditioning unit, yes. Summertime, none of those two items are actually required, especially if you're running the APU already. If you're not, it does help to power the plane up. Now, to load the plane real quick, now there is a little something here to contend with. Now you have the plugins item at top to get to the EFB. And it is also in the cockpit, sitting on the left knee of the captain, right knee of the first officer, depending how you like to fly these airplanes. Okay, so what you see on the board there at the top, stairs, chocks, LSU, fuel truck, GPU, ACU, loader unit, that is what I will tell you I always have up. Okay, now you also need to go to Ops, Airplane, open all the doors. So that's the left front, the main, which is this big cargo door here, and then the two lower baggage areas, first officer side. And way in the back, you see that purple kind of sticking out in an angle. You gotta, that will open when you click all. Otherwise, I just open them all just to be safe. In the passenger version, we'll go through, it's a whole lot different in many ways and in some not. So those are two different animals. We're not dealing with them. FedEx does not run with winglets. Sorry to say, folks, those of you that fly with them, you're not actually flying as real as could be. As could be. Again, to each their own. So that's how you do this. Now, loading the airplane. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. First thing I'll do is click maintenance before I even start touching pallet number, cargo weight, fuel weight. Okay, then I'm going to come down 0, pallet and cargo weight, pallet number, cargo weight, 0. Then I'm going to look at my flight plan. be it from FedEx Express Virtual, who I'm flying with today. And if you're on Twitch, I just gave you how to get a hold of them. Sorry about that. I did not want that to go out the air. Coughing fit. Oh, still a little recovery. So 0 pallet number, 0 cargo weight. From your load sheet, be it SimBrief, be it FedEx, however you get it, put the payload. I'm sorry, take the payload number, divide it by 9,800. Numbers to the left of the decimal, that's your pallet number. Each pallet you put in this plane is 9,800 pounds. Sorry, can't get around that, folks, unless you know how to program, and that we do not condone here. Then for the cargo weight, it is whatever is left over of that. So when you put, in this case, 10 pallets on board at 9,800 pounds, we ended up with something like, was it 10? Hang on. Now I'm curious. I thought I said 11. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Our 0 fuel weight should match. 0 fuel weight. 305,350. Yep, it is. Okay, cool. I didn't screw up too badly. So we had 10 pallets. Oh, that's what it was. We were almost 11 pallets. Hence, about 500 pounds-ish off. And we would have actually been at 11 pallets. Do not think you can go in and load every single one of these dots. Now, some of you may say, why not? Well, you can't. You'll be way overweight. 9,800 pounds a piece, yeah. Once you're done here, throw your fuel weight in, optimize the CG. Reason being, it just makes sure your aircraft balance is right. Now, this will have already been done and handed to the people that load the plane so that they'll put the pallets with the proper weights in the proper locations on the plane. It's kind of a fun ballet to watch if you ever get a chance. Many will never. But they have it down to such a science, they know that pallet will go on that spot, that pallet will go here. Truck drivers kind of know this a little. You know how the best way to load your truck if you pay attention and want the best ride out of it, which you can get a pretty good ride if you load your truck properly. The railroads know this, all of that. Everything goes into this to get the plane loaded so it CG-wise is just where it's supposed to be. Okay? And that's what Optimize will do for us instead of us having to figure out, oh my gosh, where does this 9,800 pound pilot go? And where does this one go? And so forth. All right, that's about it for quirks. So what I'm going to do is get us up in the cockpit. And we're just, like I said, about ready to go. I'm going to bring in some toolkit here real quick. Hang on just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. We have one of our granddaughters in for the night. If you watched the video yesterday, you heard her arrival. And trying to get Grandpa to do some things, but I'd like to get the streams going here. So, let's bring some toolkit in, shall we? All right, so here's the flight today. Cleveland to the north, Memphis to the south, and nobody in between. Okay. Loadout today, as mentioned already, 107,350 pounds, 10 pallets plus 3,500 pounds of cargo weight. All right, block fuel will be 32,000. Now, I put 170 in the plane, a little buffer just in case. 3 people, and there's our actual cargo breakdown. Route today is real easy. Zappa 5 SINKR, RRUSH, RRUSH. Ooh, that could be a song. You know, I may have to work on that. To Hyther 3 arrival into Memphis. Currently, visuals to runway 18 left in use. How do I know that? Because if you go to D-ATIS, you can pull up Memphis and find out. You can also find out what the heck's going on here in the dog pound, Cleveland. 34,000's all dispatch was willing to give us today. They gave us 40 yesterday, and they're only giving us 34? What? I think there's a conspiracy afoot. Weather in the Cleveland area. Winds are 200 at 6, hence runway 24. Seems like a pretty good choice. And it's already 84 degrees just before or at lunchtime. So yeah, it's getting hot. Down in Memphis. Hey, same temperature, believe it or not. That's kind of weird. Calm wind. So they're going to land us north to south, 18 left. So, so far, pretty uneventful run. Let's see if we can make it a pretty good arrival. All right, we do have centers either side of the route. KC and Atlanta shouldn't bother us, but you never know. Nothing ever says Cleveland might come up, Indianapolis might come up, or even Memphis. So we'll see and keep an ear to the grindstone. All right. We are on AICRFT for flights, FedEx, and like I said, we're ready to go. I'm going to go back outside the plane as we get ready to send everything away. All right, let's pull up that EFB again. So we're getting rid of the LSU, the stairs, the fuel truck, and the loader. And then we're going to come over here to airplane. Normally I don't do it this way, but I'm going to. We're going to close it all up. So all we have left are chocks, ground power, and air conditioning unit. I'll get it right yet, don't worry. All right, let's crank that APU up. And you can actually see it on that third line, APU EGT going up and up. I think it actually comes on pretty good here. And unlike some of the other versions within the package I have here for the 767, I think they kind of throttle up a little bit faster than they should. That's just my opinion. I don't fly them for a living, so I really don't know if that's true or false. All right, APU is just about spun up. Sorry, it's not like McDonnell Douglas or Airbus where it automatically clicks on to the gen. You have to, as the pilots, you have to do some work. Okay, on, off. Now, with this plane and the MD-11 that we flew yesterday, you need to make sure you disconnect inside the cockpit. If you don't, there's a good chance you may lose all the data you put into your FMS and McDo. So always think about that so you don't have to redo your work. Then over here, turn your bleed on. Here comes the air, and close hatches. That gives you 2 clicks to screw it up. Most people can get by, realize what they did, and stop. But sometimes if you do a quick double click, you turned it off. That really comes into play with your gen drive disconnects. If you double click these, disconnect, you'll have to perform maintenance with the engine off. Otherwise, if you're in flight and you did that, you're flying with only 1 gen. So, time to break out the reaction checklists. Now, I told you there's the EFB over here. Same thing, just over here. Get a little bit more, opens up in a different page. All right, so now GPU, ACU gone. We're left with chocks. Cool. And that means we're ready to push back. And people are going, what? This is flying with Mike. He's ready to push back? Say it isn't so.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
I want to go here. Can you put me there?
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Now I will get rid of the chocks. All right, there you have it.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Cleared to connect. Face us north. Like he doesn't know that already. A lot of the cargo in and out of Cleveland goes right down this lane. All right, just waiting on the pushback. Guess while we're waiting,
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
one moment we will. 124, 500. Cleveland area traffic, FedEx 811 heavy pushing back out of FedEx cargo parking. Brakes off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, let's get fuel pumps on. To start engines, you do have to turn off the packs. Will be nice startup number 2 first. And we're going to wait for it to get to the magenta line and then turn the fuel switch on. Now, there is one known issue right now with the 767, and I'm going to guess the 75. If you run with the, if you run into crash to desktops, which we did for quite a while, currently the fix is remove the Tango Golf Delta Sierra folder out of the aircraft folder for the 767 plugins. Unfortunately, you have no weather radar, no terrain radar at that point. which is sad because here soon we're going to have a huge radar update, and hopefully they have that worked out. Okay, fuel on for engine 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Standing by, Captain. Okay, we are up and running. Now, this aircraft will automatically connect the gens once we're spooled up to the right. You don't have to, like the 7.3. Oh, excuse me, go in and turn those on. All right, and now we can turn on
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
All right, thanks for the pushback. All right, just getting us up on the APU, off the APU, and on to aircraft power. Okay, and there's the pins. We're ready to go. All right, real quick before taxi, auto brakes. Let's put those to reject. Stave trim, 4.3. I think that's close enough. Now, one thing I do want to do, and I forget this quite a bit. We're takeoff, hang on, what was our takeoff setting? Takeoff 1. I always forget this, so that's why I wanted to get it set now, while it was fresh on my mind. Okay, hydraulic pumps are on. Flaps 5. Control panel can only set the DH, can't do anything with the weather radar. All right, and then let's run back down here, back to status, and let's check our surfaces. All right. Before you all say that's kind of overkill, that's kind of what SATEC needed me to do for that check. Okay, so we're ready to go. Flight controls check, parking brake off, and out to 24 we go. All right, hang on. All right, so if we go out Joliet to Mike 1 to Lima, we should be fine. All right, let's get some lights on. And Cleveland area traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, taxi to runway 24 left. And I believe to the left of the aircraft, that area, I believe is the de-ice area. Well, I don't think we need to worry about that just yet. That day is coming again. So, hope your week is going well. For those of you that Monday is beginning to wind down, I hope you've had a pretty good day. I'm kind of glad I've got the day off. I was a little wiped out from Saturday. Wow. All right, here comes Mike 1. Actually, I think it's Juliet 3. My bad. Kind of like yesterday, we missed taxiway because we were just a little off in our thinking, and off in our thinking for the arrival too. All right, let's flight directors on. All right, let's run our before takeoff checks here because we're almost to the end. Speed brakes are off, running lights on, nose gear lights are on, MCP set. And get the transponder up to Tara. And Cleveland traffic. Oh, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead broadcast. Cleveland area traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, departing 24 left, Zappa 5 departure. Hang on, something weird. I just got a text. Okay. All right. We'll see how that may hold up a flight. We'll see. I wasn't certain of some things today. So we'll see here. All right, we're ready to go. LNAV, VNAV loaded, ready, and armed. Okay, auto brake set, flap set, trim set. Go, catch it. Take off one set. Here we go. $80 knots. Boy, when you set that D rate over there, it does tend to travel like it should down the runway. All right, here comes V1. Rotate. Gear up. Okay, going to flaps 1. Okay. Gotta love confusing texts that come in where you only get the last one, but it's referring to one or two more. I'm like, what the? Oh, I thought I had committed to something and didn't realize it was something else. Thank goodness. Oh. All right, flaps are up. We are climbing out. Cleveland area traffic, FedEx 811 climbing out of your area. Have a great day. All right, we're on our way back on Unicom and climbing out on the Zappa 5 departure. No, no, I don't want to do that. Hang on. Oh, okay. All right, sorry about that, folks. Got a little, oh, we got an FMC message, which is, yeah. Let's take a look here. 11.3, we got plenty of fuel. Let me double check, hang on. Ah, that's why. Okay. I think once we get into cruise, we'll be okay. Yeah, looking at everything, I think that's just fine. But it is there for a reason to make you look. Psych, made you look. Oh, my wife came up and explained everything with the text, which I had kind of figured out already. All right, there's 10,000 feet. Lights off. And away we go. The lake off to that way. And the state of Ohio that way. And today, we ran with this yesterday. And the more I looked at it, I did not like it. So we're going to go back to the old-fashioned, just keep it simple. The old KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. And go with it that way. It just feels like it takes up, I was looking at the short that I made off of yesterday's flight, and it just looked like it was literally almost the whole picture. So that's why I'm kind of opting, keep it a little simple. But you're the ones that have to be happy. So if you liked that other one, let me know. There is one that kind of stretches out with that big dough in the middle with a lot more data. But you all be the judge. I do these flights for you all. Plus, I get the enjoyment of just flying. You're kind of like my dispatcher. You get to enjoy. I'm here to make the flight work for you. The passengers, the people that view the stream. I'm just the one along for the ride. So, well, it tells me Zappa had a constraint. Hang on, let me check. It did. Should be getting the call to climb. We are. All right, and looks like Columbus has a few flights wanting to go in and out. Huh. Looks worse on the multi showing up the VATSIM traffic than it is in real life. Here it's only 1 and 1. There it looks like 4 and 4. Huh. It's amazing how some traffic shows up here for VATSIM and in other areas it doesn't. All right, well, enjoy as I click us to standard. Away we go. All right, folks, we're back with you. Sorry for that. Gave some time to the granddaughter, and back with y'all. All right. Currently flying from Cleveland to Memphis in the Flight Factor 767. If you want to catch the things to know about this, check out at the end. Once you've seen the whole stream, go back, watch the very beginning, and you'll see that. Up next, we're still planning to fly from Vienna to Frankfurt after this. So we'll talk more about that as we get closer to Memphis. Oh, man. It was nice. We got a little bit of rain here last night. Really cooled things off. You know how usually you get a thunderstorm? It does that. It cools. But it's so humid. You're like, did it really cool? Oh, man. It felt like it did everything last night. Cooled, lowered the humidity, everything. Not so. I just got the mail, came back and said, oh, man. Wow, it's hot. And it's 87 degrees here Fahrenheit. So those of you in the Celsius world, which is pretty much anywhere but the US, you can do the math. And also note here, just so y'all remember, it's August. Here in the States at least, school is about to resume. So be watching for those school buses and little whippersnappers walking to and from bus stops and to the schools. Be careful. So, we're getting back into, wait a minute. How did that verse of the day come up? I thought that looked different, and, All right, are we over Shelbyville Lake? Is that what I'm thinking? All right, if you can read the FMS, if not, we'll zoom in a little. RRUSH is 87 miles out. Start of the arrival into Memphis, and we're 150 miles from top of descent. I'm gonna kind of lean that I'm a little better off than that. So bear with me a second here. Hither 3 arrival. Now let's take a look here. All right, so we need to come across Humbo at 24,000 feet and yet be below 23 by Payne. So we'll set 24. So that's 30. If I did my math right, 34 minus 24 times 3. So about 40 or so miles out of Humbo, we'll start our descent. I'm not really certain that's all right. Okay. One fear I have right now, we took off under the guise of landing on the 1/8, that ATC will come up, flip it. And Memphis is one of those notorious for that. So we are, wrong collision, there we go, wing lights.
Yeah, sorry, folks. I was watching YouTube from the movie Maverick. Just checking something from yesterday. Okay, we got about 80 miles to descent. Okay, entering the Heather arrival. Heather, either way, however you want to say it. And top of descent, still some 80 miles after. Where will that put us? Could be pretty close. All right, so we'll see how that works out. For now, enjoy. There's not much scenery here in the Midwest. As we come down, I believe that's going to be the Ohio River. Oh, sorry for that, folks. And there are the two lakes, Lake Barkley and Kentucky Lake. Trying to give you all some bearing, those familiar with the area. All right, we're about 50 miles from top of descent. Is that about where I planned? Yeah, ballpark, pretty close. So that'll work out. So again, how's your week going? Hope it's going well. Mine, we're still trying to get out of the coughs that we had over the winter. Halfway through summer, and we're still with the cough. Oh well. Life will go on. All right, now looking ahead, I saw we might run into some thunderstorms, or they'll be just to the west of our route. So, and that's what we have up ahead. Problem is, since the issue with the DGTS folder, or TGDS folder, sorry, here in Flight Factor, we have to remove it in order to not get crashed to desktops right now. So we don't have a radar. We don't have TCAS, and we don't have terrain radar. So we just kind of cruise along and take advisory from centers. All right, 40 miles, top of descent. Thought we had another coughing spell coming up, folks. All right, so according to the timer, 21 minutes or so out of Memphis, give or take. But we'll be in there shortly. Just gave you the weather, and you can see why if ATC came up. Notoriously, no matter what the ATIS would say in the real world, they'd flip it. There's a lot of things about Memphis I try to just kind of steer clear. I actually looked for other places to go, but I thought, well, we'll take our chances again with Memphis. So All right, top of descent. We are now within range, so let's set 24 over here. Couple of ways to descend this bird. Unlike the 737, we do not have any intervene buttons that you could click to start it. So, I mean, theoretically, you could just click VS at the speed you want, or come over here, click descent. I don't think you can change your transition level here. So you would have to go back to the performance initialization, get that all set up there. Or you can click descend now here. And down we go. Yeah, we did it about 10 miles early, and that's why we're holding it at 24. Got in closer, I might just set it for 10,000. So, let's see if we can see the lakes. There's Kentucky and Barkley Lakes, otherwise known as is it Tennessee Lakes or Lake? Anyway, it's two rather large lakes. Been a while since I've done anything with them. That also means that the Mississippi River is getting close. By the way, we'll kind of sort of parallel it down into Memphis from here. We're about to pass over Cairo, and then we'll be doing our approach into Memphis, where we can get our barbecue on. All right, we're set up for 1.8. Let's get the ILS frequency inputted. 11115. Heading 180. Okay, I think we're set. All right, I'm gonna set one of my trackers up for the next flight, only so I can get an idea how things are looking. Okay. All right. Humbo, we are to pass 24,000 or higher. Let's take over speed to 290. And then from here, gonna set in 10,000. That way we can cross Robbie at 10,250 knots. Perfect. All right, that'll give us time to slow up as well. And we're inbound. Yeah, it looks like those thunderstorms may have dissipated. Or maybe not. Kentucky Lake, that's what I was thinking. And Lake Barkley. All right, what's our altimeter going to be? All right, this altitude disagree. What that's saying is, beside the obvious, the altimeter here on the captain's side that we just set to 3007 obviously is different than standard over here. Click the upper right set screw of the captain's altimeter and we'll get it set over on the first officer. It's a nice little cheesy help item. I know many aircraft you can set them both to set the same way. However, this one right here we have to set as well. The standby. There we go. And we'll plan break 2. Let me just do a quick validation of that. All right, we'll go to break 4. Approach speed 150. While we're thinking about it, let's get this set up. All right, we're going to go into a sterile cockpit here below 15,000, following the mighty Mississippi River into Memphis. And if I do get quiet as the message says, please don't take offense. We can get task saturated pretty quick. Thankfully, it's a clear day, but it still happens. So please, don't take offense. And we're glad to have you aboard. If you're new to our channel, hey, welcome aboard. Thanks. I hope you enjoy this flight into Memphis, which started in Cleveland, flying the Flight Factor 767. Probably, to me, has been one of the best aircraft they made. It has weathered all the different betas and sorts, release clients, and all of that up until this last iteration coming out. It has done phenomenal. It's always been there for me. Well worth, to me, the money that I spent on it. The problem right now with it is it will crash to desktop several minutes after takeoff if you run the radars, terrain and weather radar, and possibly TCAS. There is a fix, although kind of drastic. You have to get rid of a folder in your plugins folder for the aircraft, the TGDS for those curious. And we've been flying now hour and 55 minute stream, and pushed back for an hour and 25 minutes. So it's been going pretty good, and now it's time to start the slowdown. because we got to be at 250, I believe was the words. I don't think max was used. Yeah, at 250. And then we'll switch to the ILS. So welcome aboard. But if you are new, sorry, I got sidetracked there. If you are new to our channel, hey, thank you. Thank you for trying us out. If you like what you see, smash that follow button here on Twitch. We would really love to have you aboard in our family here. We also have a Discord channel. I'm not sure if it's come through here lately. I'm not seeing it. I'll put it up there in a minute. If you by chance are watching this on YouTube, now granted, we're not live on YouTube, but if you are watching us on YouTube, welcome. And we would love for you to smash that subscribe button and thumbs up if you like it. So thank you so much. We have a couple of ways. One day, I hope to get us dual streaming. There's just some real big questions nagging at me as to whether or not my system can handle dual streaming. So that is why I don't. Hang on a second. How far out are we at Reese? 14 miles. Okay. All right, let's come on down to 5,000. But hey, everyone, welcome aboard. Thank you so much for giving us, for just giving us some attention. We sure appreciate it. Take it nice and easy down as we can. All right, we are just waiting to cross a sewer, and then we're going to go direct Reese. And let's go ahead now, would be a good time, .ctaf KMEM 19.7. All right. And Memphis area traffic, FedEx 811 heavy, crossing a sewer, direct Reese and the 18 left ILS, switching to CTAF. All right, let's go direct. All right, looks like the localizer's alive. Glide slope, I'm not going to swear to yet. And okay, let's go flaps 5. Okay, we're about 14, a little over 14 mile out. Okay, we should up. I got runways in sight. All right, there's Reese. About 15 miles out. All right, Memphis area traffic, FedEx 811 heavy. Reese, initial fix inbound, 18 left. Okay, Ronnie at 2000 on glide path. Well, we are on glide path. All right, let's tap. Gears coming down. Three green. All right, we'll be landing, but we are stable. A little high at the moment. Landing.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Make the next high speed. Memphis area traffic. FedEx 811 heavy off at Sierra 1, taxiing back to FedEx. Really? That actually felt like another really good landing. Oh well. All right, APU spooling up transponder, even though we'll put her on standby. All right, little bummed. That didn't feel at all like that. Okay, APU is running. Do we need to set our trim? No. Okay. Sometimes some of these aircraft require trim settings while taxiing. That looks, took them a while, but they finally got all the scenery grounded here. Oh, the fun me and another pilot had. What did they forget this time? FHV 1150. Don't know them. Oh, Prime Air? And I'll bet he's on Unicom instead of common traffic. Pretty sure that A300 won't be ready to go when I turned there, so we'll go down to the next. Ah, I thought the next one came up. Thought it showed it went across. Ah, it didn't. Doggone it. I'm gonna park way over here. All right, we're into blocks. All right, with that, let's, oops, wrong one. There we go. Okay, we'll turn those off. Oh, wait, I just turned them on. Never mind. All right, let's shut them down. Oh, better to do it this way. All right, we are in. Not particularly enjoying that number they gave us. That just really twice now that I'm pretty sure the landing went a lot better than it said. Yeah. Yeah. All right. 2.3 hours FedEx said we flew. We landed at 155 with 140 feet per minute. I don't think we bounced either. So, yeah, I'm really taken aback by that. Just double checking. Yeah, 140 feet per minute. I don't know why the discrepancy. Okay. Let's get the equipment out and start unloading. All right, so we'll need chocks, GPU to start it all off, ACU. We'll get the stairs, LSU, and loader. Okay. Open all. So there you have what you'll need. Is that a building in front of us? I have no idea what the heck that is. Huh. All right, well, anyway, and then all we'll do is come up here, ground, unloading the plane, please wait. All right, so while they unload, we are going to take a look at what we did. And I just did the exact same thing. Sorry about that. All right. First thing I want to do is get rid of some toolkit. Elevatech. I'm sure it's going to say 500 something feet a minute. No, even they say 141 feet a minute. Wow. Vindicated a little bit. Okay, I feel better. Just Sim Toolkit being hard on me. Really hard. 155 knots, 1.1 G. I mean, it felt like a really good landing. That's why I'm just so, what the? So who knows with Sim Toolkit. But what we'll be able to tell is where we landed. And I'm trying to find us here. Little Rock, Memphis. All right. Again, you can always zoom in and find spots to where you want to park. You know, there are more than people ever imagined here at FedEx. Their maintenance is down south here. All of this is them. That's why it's called the Super Hub, folks. And you can do the same with Sim Toolkit. All right. Speaking of which, let's bring in that dastardly one. How dare you say what that number was? 590. I'd like to know where they got that number. All right. So we'll view the details, and again, it's going to say 590 feet a minute at 155 knots, 1.1 G. That right there in itself does not add up. But anyway, it was a 1 hour, 50-minute flight, 540 miles, 7,800 kilograms. Now, let's see where we touched down. I also think we were pretty close to the center. We were only 6 feet off. Trying to figure out, whoa. Oh, I was confused. Like, why is there an airplane getting off where I landed? That was if they were coming in from the south. All right, so 2,100 feet down the runway, 6 feet off. Hey, that's a beautiful landing, even though the number for the vertical speed, I highly doubt. But that's okay. You know, that's how the cookie crumbles, as they say. Really curious on that one. Right on headings, a little pitch up, roll a little bit because we had, remember, that tailwind we were dealing with. So keeping her straight, we're going to have to kind of slip it a little bit to get in there. So, I mean, overall, a great landing. We are parked, that's building. Okay. You could have fooled me if that was a building. So, but anyway, there you have it from Sim Toolkit. Usually pretty hard on us, very hard on us today. Hope y'all enjoyed. Hey, Twitch folks, we're getting a good following. Great, great. Glad to see you all here. Hope you enjoyed that landing. Especially when I get to tell, you know, hey, I think you're wrong. So anyway, glad to have everyone here. If you're new to the channel, please, if you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Love to have you in the family. Also, I mentioned it earlier. I'll go ahead, since I still haven't seen it in a while, watch it come up next. Invite to our Discord channel. Hey, if you'd like to carry any kind of conversation on with me, usually that's the best place to catch me. In stream can be difficult. However, let me throw a caveat out there. If you come into our Twitch stream or our Discord, I'm on our voice channel right now. So you would be more than welcome to join us there, and we could chat by voice instead of by the keyboard. All right. So I hope y'all here on. First off, let me back the truck up. Twitch folks, hang tight. I'm going to kind of close this out so I can close this for the YouTube clan that we have here. But Twitch folks, hang tight. Once the music ends and we get things sorted out, we'll bring it back up and get ready for our second flight. of the day. So, YouTubers, catch you on the next flight. Twitch, stand by. We'll be right back to head to Frankfurt.